Hey, it's Mike with JaxCo Furniture. Today we are going to be talking about how to unpackage your nightstand. Now this particular nightstand is from Ashley Furniture. It doesn't really matter where the piece is from. This is the best way that we found to do it to A, minimize damages, and B, be able to do it by yourself. So if you don't have anybody else there to help you out, like if it's a heavy piece, this is an easy way to kind of get it on its end. So we've practiced this thousands and thousands of times over years of deliveries. So here we go. As you notice, this is standing straight up and down. The first thing that I'm going to do to this, and really the only thing that I need before we can get started, I just have a pocket knife. That's it. So you probably don't really need anything else unless this nightstand needs to be put together. Sometimes you got to put feet on, sometimes you got to put handles on. This piece is completely assembled, so all we will do is pop this out of the box and it's good to go. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it upside down. All your boxes should be labeled so you'll be able to see what the front, what the back, and what the top and what the bottom are. So I'm going to flip this all the way onto its end. Notice I'm being as gentle as I can be. I'm not slamming this around. I'm not throwing it around. I'm going to open up the sides with my pocket knife. Just down the edge. Now you got a little bit of lift once I can get my hand in there, and I'm just going to cut down the middle seam. You'll have a middle seam of tape. Almost every single box that we've ever seen is going to be very similar to this packaging. So I am going to now pull our flaps. Pull our flaps all the way out. As you can see in the background, we have the rest of this series, the dresser and one of the occasional pieces out here. Take all four of my flaps, move them out of the way. Sometimes you'll have cords and things like that. Sometimes they are easier to cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut this cord. We have a strap for a cord. So you have a USB, a plug that goes with this one. So we're going to go ahead and undo this because it's a little bit easier to get to while I have the bottom facing me. All right. So everything, all the packaging is out the bottom of the nightstand. We're going to move all this away so that once we get to the feet can go directly onto the ground. Make sure this flap goes flat on the ground. If it doesn't go flat on the ground, then you're going to be putting this underneath the nightstand. You're going to have a really hard time getting it all the way up. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. You're probably going to need to cut this open just to get a little bit of air in there because it's going to create like a vacuum, a pocket. You don't have to do the middle part, but it also gives you the opportunity to grab a little bit of a handle here. You'll see when I do this, a little bit of a vacuum kind of gets created. Whoop. Off goes your top. If you keep the bottom intact, or excuse me, the top intact, you also have a very convenient place to put all of your trash. Clean up as you go. It's really simple. And the nightstand clean up takes just a couple minutes. As you can see, we have more of this top frame. We're going to take this off. And then from here, it's really just taking off all the packaging. So I like to start on one side. I like to cut off all the tape. Again, be very careful not to cut into your piece, into your sides, back, anything like that. I always like to check the drawers. Sometimes there's styrofoam pieces in there to keep the drawers from kind of moving around. And if you have kind of hidden parts, like for example, you may not know that your nightstand has feet on it. They're usually going to be in the middle of that. Now, it looks like we've got some sort of dinged up damage right here on this nightstand. So that's something we'll get repaired in-house. That does happen from time to time. Very rare, but it does. So this is the back of your nightstand. This is typically, if you ever have any warranty issues, this is where you're going to find your serial numbers and your item numbers. But you're also going to have a plug. Make sure you take that off. You can plug that into the wall. And you've now got two plugs with a USB-C and I believe. These can be plugged directly in, so your phone can sit right by your bed and get charged as you're sleeping. It does. So there you have it. That's it. Our nightstand is pre-made. Nothing else to do. All we got to do is take this plug it into the wall. We got our USBs and everything like that. Other than that, we're ready to go. That's how you unpack a nightstand.